Hello, you snivelling orc grinders, you. We are returning to Holopon Solo Sagas, where we are going to continue playing Orc Borg. And joy upon joys, I have the actual, let's do the shiny cover off. I have the actual GME that I've written. I can show you it, it's printed. Yeah, so it's up on iCho right now, real time as I'm recording this. But by the time you're watching this, which is episode 3 of Orc Borg, it has been on Drive-Thru RPG for 3 weeks. Probably you can't see it unless you follow the link in the description. It's really cheap at the moment. I think it works out as $2.20 US. It's got 3 hull in it at the moment. 3 hull is like a frozen wasteland. So basically, let's do a premise quickly. Quick catch up. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for a returning subscriber. If you're a new subscriber, why don't you have a look and see whether you like this stuff? And the Adventurers Guild, thank you so much. On to the 3 hull. So, Orc Borg is all about, if you didn't watch the last 2 episodes, you should really have watched it. But Orc Borg is basically, it's War Spanner 40 TK, whereas we have a Space Hulk that is moving through space. Being how massive it is and how many eons it's been travelling, the orcs on board have no idea how long they've been travelling on it, but they know it's travelling to Haven. And when it hits it, they're going to crash into it and they're going to be able to rampage for eternity. And that's what they're desperately waiting for. But because it's such a humongous craft, in its origin, there were 7 hulls, 7 factions within the original craft. Disparate and different as they were, all worshipping their own version of the same dark god, all orcs, all rampaging, all fighting each other. One of those was called 3 hull. 3 hull is old and it's ancient and the heating coils don't work properly anymore and it's cold, and the orcs there come big barrel chested and they worship the dark gods and they give sacrifice for heat. They are barbarians. But a space hulk within the canon of space hulks have been travelling for so long and have such a gravitational pull, they pull into their gravitational well other craft. Other derelicts that are travelling through space will be dragged in to the gravitational pull and or impact into them. And so, for instance, within, I'll put the map, the editing Pete, could you put that diagram up of the derelict? So the craft the orcs are travelling through eons towards Haven is it's a Borg, so we have Prophecies of Doom. And of course, when you hit the 7th Prophecy of Doom, we have here Heaven, and we are then at the point of joy. But so we have some human crafts have impacted the derelict. We have some alien field hive craft have impacted the derelict. There are lots of elves hanging around. We've got some very demonic worshipping humans, chaos marines, and various other things have hit. Even the below, which is cursed ether tech and rogue gravity. Ether tech, I'm imagining that would be, their name has slipped out all of a sudden. Arius Mechanicus would be in there. Anyway, we have that. Why am I telling you this? I've remembered. Because the GME at the moment only contains tables for 3 hull, which is why it's only $2.20, and I will be adding them as we continue playing this, and our 3 orcs go exploring other places. There we go, recap. You're welcome. You're still here, you're still following on. Thank you very much. You're awesome people. So, our 3 orcs, Grishnak, who has sort of drifted into the leadership position, but they are orcs, so leadership is based on who's punched the rest in the face the hardest. Grishnak of the Gravy Beard. There are of course tables within the GME for you to roll your orc names. As we all know, you can't just call your orc Grishnak of the Gravy Beard. You have to roll 4 dice, check tables, and then find out that the fates have said it's Grishnak of the Gravy Beard. He is a heavy armor wearing and sort of their de facto leader because he rolled the best stats. We then have Zern, who is the wielder of the Mournful Bellows. Now Zern has a pet dog beast, an alien dog beast that sort of moves around with Zern, and Zern's quite happy about that. Zern has no armor. Zern's got a massive arse on him and used to be someone's personal bodyguard, but sadly they got killed, and Zern did a runner, and so now Zern is basically a freelancer trying to get in. So what they're basically trying to do is get in with the tribes and the clans in Threehold. So they took a job, and that job is to go and find a Dogbeast hive and massacre the Dogbeasts in it. And then finally there is Snorg of the Gristle Chewer. Snorg has some power armor. Luckily they found some batteries that are going to be powering this power armor for a while, otherwise Snorg isn't going to be doing very much. Snorg likes to play very heavy metal out of a boombox. He also has 2 peon hides, well 1 peon hide that was cut in half, strapped onto the outside of his power armor. They're going to flog when they get back and buy some booze in cans and some more cigars. Grishnak loves smoking cigars in his heavy armor. So they have they explored a layer. Basically we're doing a dungeon crawl, but it's called a raid because orcs would say it very loudly, and if that was too loud for you I do apologise, but these are orcs. And so we have been raiding using a raiding move. This is basically a solitary defilement that I have reskinned. There was an awesome reskin for Cyborg called Solitary Defilement. It is an awesome work. You should grab that. That's really, really good. And so I have taken Solitary Defilement and I've reskinned it for Orc Borg. I am going to do the same thing for Pirate Borg, I've decided, because I really enjoyed making this. There is one out there for Pirate Borg, but I don't see why I can't also reskin Solitary Defilement for Pirate Borg and do Pirate Borg. Mainly I'll probably focus on the sea battles because we're going sailing ships in Series 2 of Pirate Borg. Anyway, Pirate Borg is different, and I have to remember this is Orc Borg and not get confused like I did last time. So we are going raiding. We found a forge, which was Dave's forge, that we did some scavenging, and that's where we found the batteries. And the last thing we encountered was our first special area, our secret area. And so when you go adventuring using the Solitary Defilement rule set or the Auxiliary Defilement, which is my GME, you find on the 4th secret area, you find that's the end of the dungeon. Our job to destroy the Dogbeast hive means that A, we have to find it, which will be our 4th secret area, and then B, we have to get into a massive barney and slaughter as many Dogbeasts as possible. We'll probably do a dice roll and say we need to slaughter that many Dogbeasts and keep fighting until we do. A bit like one of those sort of grindy missions in World of Warcraft or whatever is your choice of MMO. So we have just finished defeating this peon demon that fell really quickly, much faster than we thought it would, because Grishnak grabbed his power cutter and just basically sliced the thing in half because he rolled a natural 20. And so what we will now do is we will now decide what comes next. Now what we said was that the peon demon who was summoned by a Yell Priest within this area, Yell Priest is of course because they are, as we said, your orcs, and orcs shout, and so the priest will summon things by shouting really, really loudly. If you get hold of, and do get hold of Orc Borg, because otherwise why are you buying, like, if you're going to get for $2.20, just to reiterate at this point in time, and then it's going to go up in price as I release more holes, but if you get it now from drive-through or iCho, every time I do a new release, it's still going to cost you the same amount. Even though everybody else is going to be paying more for it, you will only need to pay the base price. Am I trying to sell stuff? Yes, I am. Because it'd be great to sell a book that I've written. Someone may have bought one by this point, I don't know, but at this point, because it's not been released on drive-through, and I only released it on iCho on Saturday, which was a couple of days ago, no one's bought one yet. Anyway, you will get it at the bargain basement price that you always did, and I'll just release other ones. So they were doing a ritual. This priest, a demon got summoned. They weren't expecting that. They sacrificed 2 goblins for that. It then bust a hole through the floor because this room had no exit, so he just created one. We ignored the thing on the table roll, and so there is a hole in the middle of the floor. So Grishnak will turn to the other 2 and go, "Right lads, I think it's time we go down that hole. What do you reckon? Shall we move onwards?" "Yes, we shall, Grishnak. Who put you in charge?" "I did. Do you want to argue about it?" "No, thank you." So they will, or maybe you will want to argue about it. Maybe because Zern thinks he's quite hard, Zern's going to walk up to Grishnak and prod, because this is the thing about orcs, they should be hitting each other as much as they hit anything else. Zern is going to walk up and try and punch Grishnak because Grishnak is mouthy. So Zern needs to roll to hit Grishnak. Zern needs to roll. Oh, we'll do it that way. Shall we do it that way? Normally they don't hit each other, do they? So Grishnak, so Zern is going to try and hit Grishnak, which is a 12. So Zern is going to walk up to Grishnak. Zern has a +1. Zern is just going to punch Grishnak in the face. He misses and hits the armor. Grishnak's going to go, "What do you think you're doing, you stupid big-assed orc?" Because I'm trying not to, even though orcs would swear, we don't want to get demonetized, do we? And yeah, I can even say that two episodes in a row. Grishnak is now going to punch Zern with his power fist. I'm going to give him, instead of a D4, he can have a D6 damage. But he has got -1 to attacks because Grishnak of the Gravy Beard is wearing power armor and it's a bit cumbersome. So Grishnak needs to roll 13. Grishnak gets a hit. Grishnak punches Zern in the face. Zern takes 1 point of damage, which is lucky because Zern's only got 2 hit points. Zern goes flying on his arse, his big arse. The alien Dogbeast is going to start barking. Zern is going to do a presence check to try and get the dog to back down, otherwise Grishnak might kick the dog, and then Peter, P-E-T-A, Peter, might have to turn up and prosecute Grishnak for animal abuse. Oh no! Zern fails his presence check. He needs to roll 12 on presence checks to command Dogbeast. We'll call him Dogbeast, that's his name, Dogbeast. Dogbeast refused to acknowledge his instruction. Dogbeast is going to try and bite Grishnak. Dogbeast misses because Dogbeast needs to roll a 12 to hit. Dogbeast is gnawing on Grishnak's leg. Grishnak is going to consider kicking the dog, and he is going to. And then he is going to feel sorry about that. So Grishnak needs to roll a 12 to kick it. With Grishnak, he's just shaking his leg, and as the dog's biting him, and then as a Snorg, the Grishal Chew is going to go, "Lads, can we stop this, please? I want to go back and start drinking. And I can't go back and start drinking if you two are going to keep buggering about with each other. It's just ludicrous. And my batteries are running out on this power armor. If I got to put my bloody new music up, I will." And he cranks the music up really, really loudly. So Grishnak starts going, and then he turns it down. And then they move on, which means they do a raid roll. So we've already set up our raid. So what we need to do is we need the raiding moves, which is on page 24. I can tell you this now. Page 24 of the book is the raiding move, which is basically the dungeon crawl. What we need is we need 2 D20s. We need to roll versus the DR of the dungeon. What did I say the DR of the dungeon was? Sorry, DR of the raid. Got to get our terminologies right. The DR of the raid is 6. So we have found 1 special area so far. So we want to do this. We've got 2 above, which is a strong hit. A strong hit means that we go down and we find another special area. So we drop below this temple, we drop into something else, which is another special area. Now we can use the special area tables for 3-hole. That's why we found the Flesh Forge, which was our first special area. We rolled a D4. Now the Flesh Forge is gone from those special areas. So instead, what we use is our generic tables to be able to generate what our special area is. So we will use the generic area contents, and then, no, the generic area type. We're going to roll first our generic area type. So what is our generic area type? We've got a 2, airlock, void seals, decompression chamber. All right, let's call them void seals. So this is an airlock area, void seals. We will say how many exits we have from this room. We've already found 1 special area. 4 is none, which doesn't really work very well. So we are going to say, guess what we had last time? They're going to have to basically try and knock a hole through. So there's no areas in there, they need to knock a hole through. They need to create an exit. Maybe the Dogbeast is going to do some sniffing and find a way out. So what is this place? So it is a void seal, which is basically, it means it's a sort of airlock, an airlock area between. So that's probably why the demon could come through. Let's roll on the area contents. No, let's roll the area adjectives first. Let's roll a couple of adjectives. Let's roll 3 adjectives. What do we have? We've got a 1. There's an acrid smell. There's an acrid smell to the area. A 20. Sealed for gone. Okay, so it's not this. There's dust everywhere. So this hasn't been occupied for a very long time, and it's huge. It's vast. So we've dropped down into this gigantic area. It's dusty, and there's this acrid smell. So what do we got in our contents? Our room contents is a D12. Is a 4. Our ritual taking place was the one upstairs. We just had a ritual taking place. Unless we can say that there's old remains. 12. It looks empty. All right. So that fits better on our random area contents. Is that we've dropped down. It looks empty. There's dust everywhere. There's this acidy smell. It's a huge airlock, void area. We were completely fascinated by this. We've got no idea. All right then. Are you sure we're meant to come this way, then? Ask that arsing Dogbeast of yours and see if you can find it to sniff a way out. So he's going to have to try and get him to. He's going to. Now come on, now Dogbeast. He's not happy. My nose is a bit dented and put out of place. What's he got? He's got a cannon and a rivet gun. Let's see if we can get out of here and see if we can bust our way into an area next door. Which way, Dogbeast? Which way do we go? I sound like Sister Nivea at the moment from Forbidden Lands. Come on. If they do bust their way, I don't know how he's going to get his big arse through. 16. Okay, so he has successfully told Dogbeast to do what he's supposed to do. Dogbeast is going to, we'll just count as a success. Dogbeast is going to spend some time sniffing around the area. Let's see if there's going to be, let's do a spot. So what have we got? We've got the TR, the sort of the threat rating for this area is a 9. We will have them do a sort of, let's see, we could do a sneaking, a presence test against a TR9. Otherwise we'll have a random thing happen. So Grishnak as their leader has a presence of +3. So they need to get, they're going to attempt to do a normal move, an adventuring move, against a TR of 9. He gets a +3, so we get a weak hit. So there might be something, so we can roll on, actually we'll roll on the weak hits table and see what happens, see what comes up from the weak hits table. So the weak hits table is a D6. We get a 4, we get a common encounter. All right, so what we're going to say is going to happen is we're going to bust our way through the hole in the wall, and then after we've bust our way through the hole in the wall, we'll get a weak encounter, which is going to come through and start attacking us. Now, so we'll just say they've got enough tools between them. They've got blowtorches, they've got cutters, they've got rivet guns. They've got a massive wrecker, which is basically like a jackhammer. Who's carrying that? Snorg in his power armor is carrying a jackhammer. They can basically bust their way through, but they make such a huge amount of noise, ripping a hole in the side of this massive airlock, because Dogbeast said that this was the way to go, that they are going to cause a ruckus and they're going to cause a common encounter to kick off. The common encounter table at the moment, we've got 2 slots filled, slot 1 and slot 6. Slot 1 is some Dogbeasts, D4 Dogbeasts will pile through. Slot 6 is we find some medical gear around the end, and then possibly Zern can heal his broken nose. 1 Dogbeasts. So if we'd have rolled a 2, 3, 4, 5, we would then randomly generate some enemies and we'd fill in that slot. So we will have, it says we've got written down here a D4, so we'll have a D4, but I might do a D4 plus 1, so there's at least 2. Dogbeasts are going to pile through the hole as we bust it open, and they're going to, so we've got 2. 2 Dogbeasts, they're not going to last very long, these 2 Dogbeasts, I'll tell you that. 2 Dogbeasts are going to pile through the hole and they're going to start engaging in our lot. So we'll do 2 Dogbeasts. The Dogbeasts, you can find Dogbeasts in the core book, which is under the stats for the things that you can get. That's where, so if you can't find Dogbeasts, alien Dogbeasts rather, that's the reason why. But so you know, they have 5 hit points, a morale of 5, and they do a D6 bite. You can command them, but these two, which for some reason I've written 2 and 3. These dog beasts, they have no armor. They're compiling through. These are normal sized dog beasts, and they're compiling in, and they're going to engage with our chaps who are standing there. So we'll say that they're all sort of crowded round. If anything, Zern doesn't have much on him that can actually help. Zern's got a rivet. Zern's got mainly ranged weapons. He's got a cannon and he's got a rivet gun. He doesn't have close-up weapons to actually do anything. He's got a massive hat. He does have a massive hat and a massive arse. But barring that, so probably we've got Grishnak and Snorg are up front, pulling they've both got heavy armour. Maybe Snorg is using the power armour to rip bits of the hull off, and then all of a sudden they rip off the last bit, and these huge pile of 2 dog beasts come bounding out. Do you know what the dog beasts? I'll see if I can find Future Pete, Editing Pete, find a picture of what I reckon the dog beasts are supposed to be, which I cannot remember their names. Put down if you remember. I'll probably have found it and put the title up, but I can't remember the name of it. I used to have a whole bunch of orcs. I sold them at CanCon when I went to CanCon the other month because we're moving to the Netherlands, and so I sold all of my orcs. Was it then? No, it wasn't. It wasn't then. I didn't sell them then. I sold them end of last year in October before we went to PAX at Mother of All Battles. Massive amount of orcs, and otherwise I'd hold up a figure of the thing that I'm imagining is, but I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, they're compiling through this gap and they tear into our 3 orcs. So first off, what we do, basically that we will say that their reaction is aggressive. We could do a reaction roll, but I reckon they're aggressive anyway. I've just decided. We do an initiative test first, where we'll have Grishnak, who is our de facto leader, whether the rest of the team likes it or not, who has a 0 initiative. He needs to roll a 12, or they are caught flat-footed as the dog beasts charge in. We will have one dog beast is going to dive at Grishnak's crutch, and the other dog beast is going to try and sink its teeth into Snorg's power armor. I don't think very highly of that. So Grishnak is going to attempt to dodge. Grishnak doesn't have a negative for dodging, but he does have a negative for attacking. So Grishnak has a 0 agility. He is going to attempt to dodge this dog beast, alien dog beast, that's leaping up, massive teeth. It's got huge teeth. It looks like one of them rubber bouncy balls, like those infinity bouncy balls, with 4 legs, a little waggy tail, and freaking huge teeth. He dodges to the side, goes, "What the hell?" as this dog beast comes diving through. Snorg, on the other hand, has got +4 DR, so Snorg has to roll a 16 to dodge because his power armor, that means moving hard, is hard, as this one dives up at Snorg's face. Snorg, on the other hand, is not dodging as well. The dog beast does a D6 damage, and Snorg's power armor has -D4 to it. So I'll roll both at the same time. 2 and 2. So although it comes diving up, he's got this big neck collar piece which protects him from the power armor. Its teeth, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that somewhere? Its teeth clip and it flips over and falls to the ground. We now have Zern is going to attempt to control Dog Beast and tell Dog Beast, "Go on, attack!" No, I speak like this, don't I? Attack it! Get them! Go on, lad! It drops to the floor, lifts its back leg and starts to lick itself. And then we'll have Snorg. What's Snorg got? Snorg's got his wrecker. Snorg's going to attempt to use a wrecker on one of these little dog beasts. So Snorg has still got DR +4 because moving in this power armor is difficult. So Snorg is going to use a quick action, no such thing in this game, to flick on the boombox and make it play some really loud music, really thumping, grinding music, as he's going to attempt to pin one of these dog beasts to the ground with his wrecker, which does a D10 damage. He has a strength of +2. This would be a strength attack, which negates one of the +2s, which means instead of needing to roll a 12, he needs to roll a 14. He doesn't. So he goes drilling into the ground. So he's drilling massive holes in the ground as this dog beast is jumping around, dodging, as Grishnak is just going, "Bloody hell, Snorg, just do this. And he's going to grab his cutter and take a swing at the dog beast, which attempted to grab him. He's -1 to attack, so he needs to roll 13s instead of 12s to clip the dog beast, who has no armor. These dog beasts are just dumping around all over the place, and they don't really know what's going on. Zern tried to control Dogbeast as the alien Dogbeasts were attacking. So these are actually harder than he thought. So now we've got the Dogbeasts and now going to turn on, let's see, are they going to go for, so let's do a, where's our Oracle? We are going to do an Oracle check and see whether they're going to turn on Dogbeast and Zern. So I reckon it is likely, so we'll take 2d20s, it is likely, and we'll take the highest of these two, that they are going to turn on Zern and Dogbeast because they're less armoured. Highest of these two, which is a 12. A 12 is a yes, but life is never as easy as that. A complication gets introduced. So we will say they'll go for Zern or Dogbeast, and the other one is going to go for Grishnak or Snorg. So 1 to 3, it's Zern. 1 to 3 is Grishnak. So 1 is going to go for Zern. Zern has no armor. Zern might get killed by this. Zern has no armor, but he's +1 to attack, but he's not defending. But Zern has a +3 for defense. So it is going to dive at Zern. Zern has +3 to defense. He needs to roll a 12. Zern is nimble with his big arse and dives out of the way of this dog beast who's diving at him. So Zern is dodging the alien dog beast who's trying to get him. Grishnak, on the other hand, Grishnak has a +0 for his agility. Grishnak also just about dodges, rolling a 13. He needs to roll 12. So the alien dog beasts who are jumping around trying to attack them, and these are going, this is really getting on my nerves. Grishnak is going to try and whack his one. Snorg is going to try and go for the one on Grishnak. And then we've got the dog beast and Zern are going to try and open up. Well, let's do Zern first. Zern's got +1 for attack. Zern needs to roll, he's got a presence of 0, +1 for attack, which means Zern needs to roll an 11 to open up with his cannon, his two-handed cannon. He's only got 3 rounds for it, and obliterate this dog beast. A natural 20, outstanding. Zern goes, give away! And with his cannon, his massive two-handed battle cannon. It's not a Doom cannon, I don't believe. I think it's just a cannon. Yeah. So he's a two-handed, fast-acting. It's the machine gun that a lot of those that the Orc minis have from the thingy boys, the boys. So he opens up with one of those. That uses up one of the 3 bursts that he's got. So giving him only 2 bursts remaining. I really need to get more ammo for him. He gets a hit on the dog beast. He does a D8 damage doubled because he got a nat 20. So he does 2 points of damage as he clips one of the dog beasts. It then has a 3. It's now going to roll its morale, and the morale is 5, which is 2d6. Let's use these ones. If it rolls over a 5, it's going to yelp and leg it. Yeah. Okay, so that one yelps and runs away as he's clipped it. Didn't do bugger all damage, but clipped it. And then Grishnak is going to try and crack his one with his power cutter. Grishnak has a -1 for, he's got a -1 for strength and a -1 for attack. So he's got to roll 14s actually. No, I say. So Grishnak swishes and misses, and then Snorg has got to roll a 16, a 14. Snorg needs to roll a 14 to hit it with his, yes. So Snorg steps in, pins it with the power wrecker, which is basically a jackhammer. Let's rip a couple of cycles, doing a D8, D10 damage, doing 9 points of damage. It's only got 5 points. Pasting this one into little to nothing, as they can hear the other one running down the hull space, yelping as it runs away, and they all basically stand around looking a bit shocked that they got caught unawares by these 2 dog beasts. We will, so that will call special, so that is special area 2, which is our massive void space. They will continue down the, they'll move themselves into the gap between the hull walls, and they'll attempt to, how long have we been going for? That's all right. They'll attempt to go down that space and start to continue further on, exploring deeper into a 3 hull to try and find. This is quite close, because this is quite good, because if they're going down here, then this means they should be close to, because they came across some Dogbeasts there. This should be close, lads. Now, we're going to attempt to go quietly so we don't get surprised by them, which is a sneaking roll. Now, let's just refer to our oracle, even though we kind of know what it is. We're not cowards, so we're not doing that. And although sneaking, actually, are we going to sneak? I don't think so, Grishnak. I'm not one for sneaking in my power armor, and Zern with his massive ass, I don't think he could sneak to save his life. I could, you bloody coward. And so they're not actually going to sneak, because that's not really the Orc way, is it? Instead, they've found 2 areas, so we'll add 2 to this dice roll, and they need to get 6s. That would be a 7, so that counts, and that's a 6. So we'll come across another area. So whilst they're sneaking through, we will roll on the 3 hull table to give ourselves our 3rd secret area, and then our 4th secret area is going to be the Dogbeast hive, which is going to be full of Dogbeasts, and then we'll just wade in, have a bit of a battle, grab some Dogbeast bodies, kill as many as we can, and then we'll come back. Probably next session we'll do that, because I've got a feeling that that will be fairly long and we might lose some orcs. So let's roll on our special area for 3 hull, because we are in 3 hull. So this is 3 hull. If I roll a 1, I'll re-roll, because we've already got that. Oh, and of course I rolled a 1. So I'll roll again, and we've got a 3. The Shivering Armory. Nice. A forgotten weapon cache. Its contents sealed in a layer of ice. The racks are lined with frozen blades and firearms. All right, so we come creeping along the outside of the hull, and as we go walking along, we're passing all these vents and all these various other things, so we can still keep going down this hull. We'll see if the armory, we look in and we're going to find the Shivering Armory. So some of these things, like the Shivering Armory, so this is, we've got an ice maul, the Black Furnace. The Black Furnace and the Flesh Forge, we could possibly say that there is only one of those within 3 hull. But the Ice Maul and the Shivering Armory, the descriptions of those special areas from the GME, you can reuse those. Then, you know, the Shivering Armory can be reused. There could be multiple of these hidden in 3 hull, and we'd not be able to find it. So there's this grill, there's a vent, we're coming down the sides, a bit like that scene in the Matrix when they're moving down the bit, or there's as they're moving through the hull. What's that from? That was Battlestar, where she overhears the conversation because she goes through the wall gap. What's her name? I can't remember her name. The engineer's missus goes through the wall gap. We're in that sort of space, and they're walking along, and they gaze and go, "What the hell's in there?" As they can see, and we see through the vent that there's this frozen space beyond, which has loads of all sorts of stuff, but it's all blocked in ice. It looks clearly as though we're going to have to hack our way through. We do have that wrecker to actually get in and get any of that stuff. So first off, we need to try and get through this vent. Otherwise, we'll just continue going down this hole gap until we go through. All right, let's see if we can get through this gap. Now, are we going to do that? I reckon this is going to be a presence test, and we are going to use the TR of the space, which is 9, plus, if we do so what we'll do is we'll do an adventure move, because if we get a weak hit, we can say they get in, but they get damaged. They take some damage getting in. Like one of them gets hurt getting in, but a strong hit, they can just cut their way through the side and into the armory. What have we got? So we've got a 9. Presence test would be a +3. So that is a 9, and that is a 14. So that is a strong hit, because we have a presence test. So Snorg has +3. There, as long as Zern isn't allowed to go anywhere near it. But Grishnak has a cutter, and Snorg has his wrecker, which they're the ones that primaries. They've got a +3, so that gives us 2 9s. That's a strong hit. So we cut our way through, without having a failure. No one gets hurt, and we get into the Shivering Armory. All right then, lads, let's have a search around here. So we will roll. So I'm doing a lot of rolling from this, just so as you can see it happening, and you know, you might want to go and pay $2.20. That's American. I think it works out as $3.50 Australian for this. So we have a presence test against a DR of 12, which would be, so this is them trying to identify, so they've broken through, but this is them trying to find stuff in the room, which is searching for an object or area, or hold up, what's that? Which is on page 13 of the GME. So we can spend miracles to actually, which we might as well. Let's spend 2 of Grishnak's miracles, because Grishnak's got 2, so that gives Grishnak 0 miracles left. So that's a DR of 10 instead of a DR of 12. Grishnak has a +3, so we're going first a 10. We've got a nat 20 and a 10. So we find something good, which is a strong hit. So we roll a d6, a 6. We've got a weapon. So we can roll a weapon from the core book, page 11. That is what we get in here. So page 11, core book, which is a d12. A 10, we get, that's something good. A 10 is a Doom Cannon. Fires the whole clip at once, so roll d3 attacks per attack, comes with presence +3 clips. All right, so we get hold of a Doom Cannon. Who's not, so Snorg hasn't got, actually, Grishnak hasn't got, Grishnak just has his cutter, he's got a cutter, a blowtorch and a flat, so he can have a Doom Cannon. Grishnak's gonna go, that lads is mine. Why is it yours? Because I'm saying, all right, let's have a punch up. He wants the Doom Cannon. Grishnak wants the Doom Cannon, which is d8 damage and does a d3 attacks and has got presence +3 clips, which would give it 6 shots. Each shot would be a d3 attacks though. So Grishnak's gonna grab that. Let's see, who's gonna want it? Snorg or Zern? Zern as weapons, Snorg will want it. Snorg's gonna want it. Snorg's gonna go trying to grab it off of Grishnak. We will make them make an opposing strength test. Grishnak, Snorg. Grishnak is -1. Grishnak is an 8. Snorg basically pulls it off of Grishnak. Grishnak is going to try and twat Snorg in the face. Twat is a word for striking something, not a term for a body part of a certain person. He's going to try and strike him in the face. He's got a -2. He needs to roll a 14 to hit him. No. So Snorg has the Doom Cannon. Grishnak hits him and Snorg's going to say, what are you doing? What are you doing, Grishnak? I want the Doom Cannon. Have this. No, he's not actually going to give him the record because these are orcs. They're not going to do that. So Grishnak has now, we'll note this down. Grishnak wants to kill Snorg. Grishnak is going to try and kill Snorg the next opportunity he has. So he's got 6 shots. D3 attacks. Snorg now has a Doom Cannon and he's feeling mighty good about himself. Grishnak is considering throwing a firebomb at Snorg and seeing if he burns as quickly as he thinks he will. And we will leave them leaving the Shivering Armour and moving on to the next area. So my notes are, roll new area. Thank you very much. I quite like Orc Borg. Orc Borg and all of the Borgs flow really easily. You can really easily imagine 3 orcs wandering around trying to find a hive full of Dogbeasts that we will find next session, and then we'll rip into them with everything we've got and see who comes out best. We'll roll something like, I don't know, we could say a D12, 2D12. How about 2D12 Dogbeast? That's what's going to be in the hive. Maybe, actually, correct that, a D12 plus 1 normal Dogbeast and a D4 strong Dogbeast. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for still being a subscriber. I very much appreciate that. It's really means a lot to me, and the numbers going up, and that's quite exciting. If you are not a subscriber, please do consider being a subscriber. As I said, I have done the GME for this. I'm going to do a GME for Orc Borg. I possibly have something being considered being published by Haphazard, and I have recently acquired Lancer. And I am looking how to do a good solo guide for Lancer, because that looks quite exciting. So it may be worthwhile being a subscriber. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild. I am thinking of a way of being able to send you a discount code for the GME, but I don't know whether, I don't think iCho can do that, but I think Drive-Thru can. So once it's gone live in Drive-Thru, I will be sending that out. You probably already received it. And beyond that, do pick up, even if you don't get the GME, pick up Orc Borg. It's very bright, it's very garish, it's very orc, and it's very awesome. See you next week. Bye.